Hi guys, welcome to Unscripted, and I am Elon Jobs. Today I'll be talking about sales, which is one fundamental thing that a lot of people have been asking me about. They say, "Guy, how do you go about your sales? How do you build the organization straight from sales up to this point? How is sales? How was sales? How is this sales today?" So essentially, I'll be walking you through the baseline. This is sales 101. There's far more complex stuff for us to examine together, like the idea of secrecy, the idea of blast farm, and a lot of that. But today, I just want to take you down the lane and break the essentials for you. What are the essential ingredients that you need to put in mind when you're thinking of sales? When you want to sell to somebody, where does it start from? So that's the baseline of this whole discussion. And today, I'll be talking about these 8 things. So let's start from citing. By citing, what I mean, I have a few friends that are very, very good with citing. One of them is Enoch, and so I think my current CMO, Tim Cruz, is very good with citing too, and a lot of other people. You have to understand this. This is a strength. This is a strength for a lot of people. Citing is knowing who we pay, knowing exactly who is the kind of person that is good for your business. This is far beyond you are doing data research or doing analytics on a huge data set. In the first place, I'm talking about you, my friend out there that is just starting your shoemaking business or your hairdressing business, or you are trying to sell food, or you are trying to, whatever it is. You don't have any data set behind your back. You don't have any rule of columns or whatever to do data analytics on to know the exact audience you are looking for. And you may be grossly wrong if you don't know exactly what to look for. So citing is that ability to know who is that guy that can pay for my service, who is that guy that can pay for my business, for my product, who is that guy that can buy into this. You have to cite right. Like at the point we are also with some industries in education. I think even before then we want to also with some other industries, but we find out that you can work with education, especially with the A level. Before we are looking for secondary school, which was wrong, and then later we discovered that the people that are into A level are most likely to listen to us. So that's where we started from. We started building platforms for them, started building solutions for them, started building a website for them, and it worked out. That started right. Then later, when we want to transfer and do something bigger, we cited the skincare industry, and then we started paying attention to the kind of people that want to buy from us. So that's citing. Citing is just you going out there and citing who can pay. Like it's your pricking eye on the market. Who can pay for my particular? This is a very, very important skill. A lot of people think it's just normal. Like I can go all day long telling you the tactics and the techniques for you to cite, but that is the first thing you have to put on. How do you pick the right person? So let me assume that out of your trial and error, which is something I'll be talking about later on, you have found a client, somebody you hope will pay for your product. So let's go to the next thing in line, which is opening. After you have cited this young man, this young lady, somebody that can date you, sales is all around. It includes all of your daily activities, including your love life, all of that. So after citing the fact that somebody can date you, you can be somebody's whatever, the girl can be your whatever. After you find that out, opening is about what is the person solving for, what is the girl solving for, what is the guy solving for, what is the client solving for in business terms, what is the customer solving for. Opening is the first step after citing. A lot of people get this wrong, and then they start jumping to the idea of close. Even some skip it totally. They say all you do is cite, build rapport, and manage, and then close. That's what a lot of people talk about. Some even don't talk about citing, just say build rapport, manage objection, and close, or whatever. If your data is not coming from straight market, you need to cite. And then opening is very important. You open up the client. What exactly is this guy solving for? Don't try to be an expert here. Don't try to come up with the whole thing that you know about websites. Don't try to come up with the whole theology and idea and ideation you have about product building or whatever to bombard the guy that you have started. It's about opening up this guy, what he's trying to solve for. When I'm getting a MacBook, an iMac, whatever, most of it I notice that there are different things I'm solving for at every gadget touch point. So if my sellers are trying to help me solve another thing, it may not connect. The other day someone was meeting telling me that for the director of my portfolio, I should be able to manage is it MacBook 2019 13 inches or 14 inches, I don't know. I said, I don't do anything less than 15 inches. I know exactly what I'm solving for. So instead of you trying to close me, you get that, on buying whatever, buying a 13 inches because I'm a director, I don't really need this big screen. I'm a fucking DevOps. I'm a developer too. Do you get the point? So you can't tell me that because I'm a director, I should just be using this tiny screen and be squeezing my eye. I use glasses. I'm a long distance. I have what's it called, myopia or not this. So don't try to close me on nonsense when you have not opened me on my concern. You have not asked me why do you need 15 inches and above? Why do you need 16 grams? Why do you guys will examine exactly what am I solving for. Like opening is about what am I solving for. Building rapport is about those dialogue about it. About okay, why 15 inches? Why have you considered 13 inches? Oh, whatever. This is what building rapport. But opening is about first knowing the big goal. Then when you know the goal, then building rapport. Like what can I sacrifice? What can I let go? What I'm not willing to sacrifice? What are my negotiables? What are my unnegotiables? That's building rapport look like. What am I really solving for? How deep is what I'm solving for really matter to me? Is there any other black swan behind it? This is what building rapport. Like getting to connect with people. It includes doing tribal things like, oh, you're an Arsenal fan? Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan too. Even my brother is an Arsenal fan. We started before I was a Man U fan. It doesn't have anything to do with your sales. It doesn't have anything, but it's about building rapport, like getting the connection, the sync going. It's about making 2 or 3 people be in alignment with you. I've closed sales where there are 4 people. I've closed where there are 3 people. I've closed one-on-one sales before. I've closed sales on the phone. I've closed sales over the phone. I've different forms of sales, but this is an essential part that cannot be removed from any of that form of conversation. You need to build rapport. You need to get to know everybody that's in the room. Sync along with them. Let there be playful environment. Change the conversation for a second. You intentionally change the conversation. You that are trying to make a sale. Change the conversation to something that everybody else will connect to and they will laugh and whatever. That's what building rapport. And that's why the fact that you build rapport. You talk about the fact that you're a Chelsea fan, you're a Man U fan, you like Liverpool or whatever in the conversation. Note, you're not just talking about all this random idea. You really want to bring it in play so that everybody on board will connect with you. So if you want to take this opposing stand against whoever it is, so that you engage the person energetically, you guys will know the reason why you are doing that. There are situations why you have to do that, so that you engage the person, so that maybe by default you are aligning with his whatever from day one, what he believes in, and he just feeling like this is looking like a fraud. You can build rapport by standing in opposing thing, just a tribal thing, like in a tribal thing, like liking suits rather than wearing Ranex like this. That can be something like where you create an opposition. That will flip his sense of anything that seems nice like this. The customer have all forms of biases, all forms of distorted data, including the ones that you don't think existed, including the one that they believe that the fact that we are saying the same thing, there's something that maybe they are feeling that you want to fraud them, like they are just accepting and agreeing on everything. It's me like it's free, and they want to give you this hold on a second kind of thing. Like, can you are accepting me? I was saying, is it like everything is correct? The customer wants to be wrong in a little bit. So this part of where you do that, like let it assume like, okay, I'm a Chelsea fan, you are a Liverpool fan. You can create that toggle, that little. Don't stretch it too much. Don't say because as your coach said, okay, and then you go and be claiming I'm a Chelsea fan. Don't tell me that nonsense. I've seen people that take it something to the head like that. You can create a little bit of toggle. That's part of building rapport, so that the customer will get back in line and feel like, okay, these guys can be disagreeable at the time. You don't want to be 100% agreeable. You want to create some sense of disagreeableness in the conversation. And then managing objection is that after all that, okay, maybe I should do it next week. No, why are you not doing it now? I don't have the money. Okay, essentially, whatever. What will you lose if you are doing it tomorrow? Think about it. How can we do it? You can do the transfer through pay, whatever. Why are you not paying now? What's holding you from paying? This is about managing objection. When people are giving you reasons, I don't want to have another website. Why should you can't waste on whatever. The fact that something has failed doesn't mean you can't try. This is about managing. People come up with 1,000 and a million reasons why they shouldn't buy your products, why you shouldn't be the guy to service them. That's how I have building rapport. But that's why it's essential for you to have opened them up exactly on what they are solving for, and then at the same time be clear and clearly in line with them, like build rapport, and then you'll be able to manage objection effectively. When you start talking about the fact that your relationship is more important than the money and all of that, you get to, because you have built rapport before. They have seen it genuinely that your conversation is not just centered around the money. You have built the rapport, then you're able to manage objection effectively like that. You're able to manage and grind the objection along them as a brother, because now you are on the same team. Like you have built rapport, you have opened the guy up. You know what he's solving for. You two, you are solving for that alongside with him. You have accepted what he's solving for. And then you have built rapport that is so strong. Then managing the objection is very easy. When he's saying no this, no that, you're giving him yes this, yes that. Like this is how this is why I believe you should do it better. And then because now you have built a connection with the client that seems like you are solving for the same problem, you helping me to manage the objection will not just be a counter, it will not be also counter, also kind of argument. It will be okay, let's reason together kind of movement. You guys will be moving along. Why don't we consider? No, we should rather. Then it should be a combination of pulling him into the picture. Like we are making this decision alongside together. Let's make this wonderful. One thing I've learned is that all my clients are so good and they are sticking around for so long. We solve problems together. It's not about me making money off them or me. We do actually agree and align on a purpose, and then we look forward to ways to solve it and make it work. So it's not about they paying me. It's not about they getting the result. So how do we both work together and get the result? Sure, I have to get paid alongside, so that we can get the result. So they know that it's about destination, it's about the destination and not the journey. So I don't just walk the client through the journey, I get them to focus on the destination. So if you can do that by building a quality rapport, then you can be able to manage your relation alongside with them. Like that is one of the reasons we should not go to the destination. I say, no, we should rather go. And these are the reasons we should go. And then closing is actually making that final call. At this junction, that is it. Close the sales. Let us have a concluding end. A lot of time people miss this part, so that's why it seems all the books tend to focus on closing. Closing is very, very more important as the others. But if you don't do all of this right, if you want to close, you are doing yourself. There's nothing that's going to happen. So closing is that final action button. Like, let's do this. Let's go. Let's make it the move. You understand? Closing is when you actually get very close and very intense, and then make the sales. That's when you close the deal. When you close the deal. And then closing the deal doesn't mean the customer will pay. This is one thing you should not get wrong. Closing the deal doesn't mean the customer will pay you. Closing the deal is getting them to finally believe in the destination. Closing the deal is getting the customer to actually believe in the destination. Like, that is the next thing to do. But collecting is a different world of its own. Collecting is actually letting them to pay for the destination. The fact that I want to go on the journey. Like, collecting is getting the money out of the closing. Yeah, I've agreed with you. We should be dating. I've agreed. Yeah. I think we dating is a nice idea. Collecting is taking your first kiss. There are many people that are dating today that's not happening. That they'll be blessing Sister Chelma. Yeah. You touch your hand like this. Oh, that's good. And then there will be just this mumu. Your lips is fine, oh. I like your own lips too. And we are dating, are we? Yes, we are dating. So collecting is actually getting this place. You have closed the deal. The guy is already agreeing with the fact that you come to date a guy like you and all of that. But collecting is actually making an actionable thing to happen. Collecting is getting money, getting the keys, getting out of bed, whatever the getting you really want to do. Collecting is that. A lot of clients have several businesses and they make those businesses go out of business because there are some people who are very good doing all of this, or probably some of them, but they are not good at getting the number down to the record. You guys should do this. Closing is not about, a lot of people when they talk about closing, even you watch YouTube channels and all of that, when these sales gurus are making this closing and all this thing, they don't talk about the clients accepting to make the transaction. You don't tell us how long it takes them to collect the money from the client. And that's where me I'm fundamentally good at. I collect on point. Because my entire business is built on the fact that we can collect money ahead of time before we ever go ahead and do the service. So I've promised a certain number of people, about 60 staff, that they are going to get the payment at the end of the month. When their 30-day cycle runs around. And then I got to collect so that I'm able to fulfill those promises. Do you get the point? And that's why they are working ahead of time. So I have to collect. So if you don't understand this part, I even did a video on YouTube where I was telling you collect your money. You have to collect your money. You have to get to collect your money. Then more importantly, delight. Whatever it is you have promised your client to do, do it so. Do it so wonderfully well. Do it so pronounced that they get to pay you extra. There are times when customers send us extra money for the service we're doing. There are times where we have a good lashes of backlog on this, where customers don't delight about what we do or how well we handle it, or maybe some market constraint. For instance, we have been trying to get our apps on the Apple Store, and then it's be giving us a lot of problems and all of that. And then we have some clients that are already complaining about that and all of this. And even some have had it for the phone. Delight is very important. You have collected, you have closed, you have built rapport. When you don't get to delight, it's a fundamental problem. And that's where you talk about fulfillment. The same word, fulfillment. Like fulfilling the promise and then going beyond. The reason why it delights is that you end up going beyond what you have promised, end up doing faster than you have promised and all of that. And then when you do that, when you do delight your customer, you see, a lot of people don't talk about all of this. When you close, you are closing. I mean, sales includes collecting, getting the actual cash, and then getting the delight by fulfilling that. Because you are still going to get a referral, that you end up not necessarily doing sightseeing or whatever for anymore. That all you do is to open up or something and then close. It becomes way easier when you have a referral. Most of these will not be needed. For instance, you don't need a sighting anymore, because someone somewhere that you have delighted cited the customer for you. And then I've opened, maybe probably if a good form of referral, they have even opened the person up on the fact that they should get the same experience that they got from you. And then building rapport should not be hard for you. Well, you come from this person, wow, it's very easy. We do our big website, we do our app, we do this. Building rapport is so easy for you. And then objections, by the time somebody refer you, how many objections you want to manage? All you be thinking like, well, my friend paid 50,000. Why should I pay 300? Okay, you should pay 250. That's what the money you come will more likely look at this. Because by finding somebody to that means they have spent, virtually does all of the work for you. All you do is collect, all you do is close, collect, the light again, and then they send you another. That's why all the exercises, all of this need to be ticked effectively. If you are in any business and you are not taking all of these 8 boxes, you are doing something wrong. You are getting something wrong. If you are interested in my sales training, I'm thinking of coming up with an extensive sales course on how to close sales, collect in Nigerian context. I don't want to do it for all of the world. I can't say it's work all over the world, because that's what most of the books I have read from gurus tend to miss out. There are contexts to closing, because people have different. In Nigeria, people have real objection. In books, they will tell you that there's no objection that is free. In Nigeria, people have real. I've seen people that tell me that they have account balance as reached limit for the day, and it's true. By 12:01, they send me my money. Do you get the point? So if you are following what the gurus are saying, you say, the objection is already, and then you force the conversation that the customer will break and be like, you are too much concerned about the money. What's your problem? Do you get the point? There are a lot of things that I'm going to be done in the course. I've not developed the course yet, but if you're interested, I'll make a facility for a link where you can just show up your interest in it, so that if I get enough attention, I can get to decide whether I'm going to shoot the entire course on sales. And I'm going to make it very, very, is either free or totally free. So if you're interested in the sales course, I just want you to go and register, maybe an email, whatever, just sign up somewhere or join the WhatsApp group, whatever we link behind the links, my team will decide. And then join the, let's see, we work together, we talk together. Maybe it's better if it's a platform like Telegram where we can all be seeing each other. Then I develop the entire course, and I see all you'll be paying for is a penny that we account for the server cost and all of that, so that you can understand sales in Nigerian context. And I can give you a platform where you can start out your sales career and start making money all the time and start understanding how to sell. Because sales is very fundamental to entrepreneurs, to business owners, to all of that. You need to sell your vision, sell your product, sell your team, sell your leadership team, sell your organization, sell your vision, sell your leadership skills, sell your decision-making skills. Everything you need to sell to your team. You need to sell, and all of these are essential tick box that you have to go through, and more. I've not talked about very, very wonderful ideas, ideas like Black Swan, like tactical empathy, like all of that. They are very, very essential to sales, and where context apply. If you are dealing with a Lagos audience, there's a more use of technical grammar, and when you are dealing with somebody from Port Harcourt or from other parts of the world, even on your state, there's a more relatable way you have to do it. Like even within Nigeria, not talk of you talking about global sense. That's what most books are missing out. That's what most online courses that are done by one foreign guy are missing out. And that's one of the things I would like to detail and set the context for in my course. So with that being said, guys, till we meet next week where we talk about another thing in another debate. I remain Elon Jobs, and this is Unscripted. Thank you.